What is going on, everybody? I am Jake, aka Bomber, and it is good to see you. It's been a while. Very long time, as a matter of fact. And I wanted to come in and been getting a lot of comments still, even though have not been active here on the YouTube channel. Getting a lot of comments on videos, been getting hit up in DMs and just questions on Twitter. So I wanted to come out and let you guys know what the future is in Jobber Radio. Is there a future in Jobber Radio, basically? That's what a lot of people are wondering. Now, a while back feels like almost 2 years ago, I think, but it's only been like a year, maybe a year and a half. I don't know. It felt like a long time. Decided to shut down operations overall, not just JRPL, but also get off of Twitter, get off of everything. And just, me personally, I just got out of wrestling, period. So that's kind of where I've been this past, like I said, however long it was. But on Twitter, I posted a tweet. Let me see if I can. No, I ain't worried about finding it. It basically, bottom line, it said, "Hey, Jobber Radio is ceasing operations as of what you guys know about Jobber Radio. What you've come to know about Jobber Radio. It's not going to be Jobber Radio anymore. I'm going to work on other projects, which I've been doing, and I've been having a blast. But knowing me, knowing how I operate, I always knew that I would be coming back to wrestling content, the wrestling world, at some point in time. So that is what this video is about. What is the future of Jobber Radio? So yeah, basically haven't posted any content really. 2020, I was posting some stuff. The last video we did here on the channel was a Jobber Jeopardy episode. We had Warden, we had Alaska Brown, we had Big Willie-isms. Awesome episode. I can't believe it hasn't picked up the traction that some of the other ones have had. I think it's easily the best Jobber Jeopardy episode we've done. But having said that was a long time ago. So where does that leave things? Where does that leave Jobber Radio right now? So here is what I have to reveal to you guys, which is going to be everything. I'm going to be wide open, be talking everything that there is about Jobber Radio right here, right now. So bottom line, is Jobber Radio dead? That's what a lot of people have been asking. Is Jobber Radio dead for good? The answer is no. Jobber Radio, I will never stop making content, creating different types of content. So I wouldn't ever say any of my projects that I've been a part of are done. Not that I've been in charge of anyway. Jobber Radio specifically is what we're talking here. Has always went through eras. So 2012, 10 years ago, we're talking the first era of Jobber Radio. This is not going to be a history video. Jesus, it's not going to be that. But this is just kind of an idea of what I wanted to let you guys know what is going to be happening. The Jobber Radio has went through different eras. The first one in 2012, when we transitioned away from that. We were a music video. We came from Addicted to Editing and a bunch of other old school stuff that probably nobody even watching this even remembers or knows about. That's kind of the history of Jobber Radio. We came from that. So we started our own thing, our own just wrestling podcast. And that was the first era. The second era was when we posted our content on Reckless Eating. And then the going solo era, which ironically enough, we'll talk about that in a second, but that is where we branched off and we created our own YouTube channel. We did all our stuff like that. And that was the third era of Jobber Radio. So what is next for Jobber Radio? Ironically, as I'm recording this, that is the question. What is next for Jobber Radio? And that is simply going to be, I assume, this is going to be the fourth era of Jobber Radio. Recently in the past, Jobber Radio has always, I have always thought of it as and always have built it to be a group. I always wanted to have a full, not like full cast, but, a good group, 5 or so people that we build the show around, we build the podcast around, we build the content around, the different best in the business tournaments and all that kind of stuff. And I noticed Jobber Radio really never grew because to me, even though I say the content, I think the content was awesome. I stand by the content 100%. I think everybody put in, when they were there, when everybody was there and showing up, I think everybody put in, all of their effort, and I think it was very good content. But when you have that many people, you have the problem of always trying to get everybody on, trying to get everything going. I always envisioned Jobber Radio as we would come together on the podcast and we would do the podcast, and I was hoping that people would do their own things. Matt Zion started some stuff where he would do the bad bookings and stuff like that, and he'd post a couple of videos. It really didn't take off. He really never got into it. Lee started posting some stuff, but it just never really came to be. And it just overall, it just ended up being, just the podcast and a couple of the other things that we could, eventually get people on for. And it never really got the vision that I was hoping for, is where we would all come together, do stuff, and we would all make our own separate content as well. And we would share Jobber Radio, but it just never came to be. Jobber Radio never really, took off like we wanted it to. And then over time, we added in the Jobber Radio Prediction League, had a lot of fun with that. And it's come to the point now where everybody's pretty much gone. They're all doing their own thing. And what does that leave? That leaves Bomber and the desire to make content. So this new era of Jobber Radio is basically going to be the third one was the going solo era, which ironically, I guess we're gonna have to think of another name for that, because we left the regular seeding era, we went solo, but now it's the for real going solo era. I'm going to be moving forward doing content. It's ironically enough, it's the content that people are still coming to the channel for. There are some people that come and see some best in the businesses and stuff like that, but I've noticed most of the content that people are coming back for is a lot of the CZW content. A lot of people are coming for the CZW content. A lot of people are coming for the evergreen content that I just made just for fun, like the opinion pieces and stuff like that. And the basically bottom line is I can easily see how Jobber Radio can grow and prosper, just not having to rely on other people to change their schedule and affect things, and just do evergreen solo, very solid content that I put a lot of work into and put out there. So that is what, long story short, that is what Jobber Radio is going to move towards now. It is going to be just me producing evergreen content, different types of content that you'll see over time. And the thing about that is I don't have to worry about setting a schedule. I don't have to worry about setting any kind of, relying on other people, like scheduling dates and hoping everybody can make it on. And then when everybody's there, like two people or one person doesn't make it, and it just kills like the vibe. And, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So that is basically where things are going to go with the future of Jobber Radio. So what does that mean for the podcast? Because a lot of people have been asking about the podcast. When are you going to come back with the podcast? What's the update on the podcast? I would love to bring the podcast back. I was ready to bring the podcast back right before things shut down, and that was kind of one of the main reasons why I made the decision to just kind of stop everything, was because I was ready to bring the podcast back, but it was not, I guess, fast enough for a lot of the other cast members. I was super burned out on wrestling. I was super burned down on a lot of things. I wasn't happy with wrestling. It was the pandemic stuff. Everybody felt different about the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't ready. And it took the current hosts that I had with me. They just wanted it to be, now, let's go now. And it just wasn't ready yet. So that's they went on to do their own thing, and that's great. That's absolutely awesome. Hopefully everything's going good. I haven't seen their stuff, but I've seen some people retweet some of their stuff, so I'm glad I see they're still going. That's awesome. That's absolutely fantastic. But I wasn't ready at the time. So when I was ready, I came in and I kind of pitched the idea. I typed up like an idea of how to get everything going again, how to actually get the ball rolling again. And everybody turned it down, which is perfectly fine. That's understandable. It's not like, we're out here getting paid because, yeah, we have a Patreon up and there's the ad revenue stuff. But listen, that's nothing. That is, we don't, the channel doesn't, never made anything. If maybe $20, like maybe every 4 months, maybe it's just never been a thing. It's never been anything about money. So the bottom line is I decided to shut things down when everybody decided, no, we're done with Java Radio. We're walking away. So perfectly fine for their, whatever they want to do. And at that point I was wanting to, keep the group mentality together, and it just didn't work out. So I decided to shut everything down, and I stepped away from wrestling. And I still say it's one of my best decisions I've made, because on the time away, though I've loved wrestling, wrestling's always been in everything I've done forever. It was definitely the best thing I ever did, man. If you're, I posted this on Twitter the other day. If you guys are out there and you're just burnt out, just step away, man. Just do it. It feels so good. Just don't get on Twitter. Don't watch the paper. Don't check in pay-per-views from time to time. Just cut it all out. I have come back, and wrestling is so fun right now. Ironically, I come back just weeks before Vince McMahon gets fired or leaves or whatever you want to call it. But it's an exciting time, and I look back, and that time I was gone, wrestling, I didn't see anything that looked interesting. I caught back up, and I'm like, man, I didn't miss anything. So I think that was the perfect time frame. Right now, things are exciting. Things are fun. There's stuff to talk about. There's stuff to, content. There's always content to do, but there's stuff that I feel like I can get enjoyment out of. So that is what is going to be taking place. I know this is a little long-winded, but this is our first time, talking in a long time. So I'm hoping you're not completely tuned out by now. But I'm saying basically I am going to be getting back into the, I'll be doing opinion pieces. I'll be, definitely doing some CZW stuff. A lot of people have been wanting to see a lot more CZW content, even though, current CZW, it is what it is. But, old school CZW, people still want to see that kind of stuff and want to see, wrestle, especially the series they wrestle in CZW. I brought up a name the other day to my friend, and he was like, wait, what? He was in CZW? I'm like, dude, he was world champion. So that's going to have to definitely be an episode. You'll see that one coming on the channel at some point. But yeah, there's just so many very interesting things that people don't know about that are just interesting stories to tell and stuff to show that are just, those are evergreen content, which evergreen content, if you don't know, that's just content that it's not time stamped. It's always fun to watch at any point in time. That's basically what that means. So that's kind of the content, the angle I'm going to be going for, besides the opinion pieces, which are usually, those are more time sensitive, but to each their own. So there's going to be no real set schedule. Things are going to be a little bit more loose, but the content, which was 0, is going to be actually changing to at least, a little bit higher up than 0. But the other big thing is the Jobber Radio Prediction League is definitely coming back. Let me hop on the new URL is jrpl.jobberradio.com. If you don't follow the other Jobber Radio YouTube channel, I'll link it down below. You'll be able to click on it and hopefully, hit a little subscribe button over there where I'll be posting content specifically about the GRPL. But I'll post a couple things here, just, kind of announcing things and stuff like that, saying, hey, blah, blah, blah. Here's, first show coming up, blah, blah, blah. All Out is going to be that first show. I'll link some stuff. We'll talk about it. But overall, the Jobber Radio Prediction League is coming back. I've created a brand new website. I've spent so much time and effort onto this website, building this website. Very proud of it. I have so many fun and new features coming to Jobber Radio Prediction League. I hope you guys, if you were ever a part of the Jobber Radio Prediction League, or maybe you thought about joining the Prediction League, or maybe you're seeing this for the first time and you were following other content like the CZW stuff and all that, now is the time to join the Prediction League, because it comes back AEW All Out September 4th, 2022. So, that is kind of the real big thing. That's what I've been putting all my time in, as well as my other YouTube channels and stuff, and plus, work and all this kind of stuff. That's what I've been up to in this whole time away. It's been a while. It has been a while, but I haven't been not doing anything. I want to know down below, what have you guys been up to? What would you like to see as far as content wise? Which I wish I could bring the podcast back, but unless I get some, reliable people that I have that, we can build some chemistry with. Like I have some friends that I would love to do the podcast with, but I haven't asked anybody. I haven't even thought of the idea of asking people right now. But just know that I would love to do the podcast again. It's just not in the cards, not right now anyway. So for those asking about the podcast, when it's coming back, blah, 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 it's unfortunately that part is going to remain on hiatus until further notice. No plans on bringing that back anytime soon. Just know I wish, unfortunately, I wish I could. And I'm not gonna do the podcast by myself. That's the thing. Like I could easily, just like I'm sitting here talking to, like forever about anything, I can do that, but I don't even, you're probably not even watching anymore. What am I talking about? I don't know. But the main focus is going to be on evergreen content. It's going to be on opinion pieces. It's going to be on the Jobber Radio Prediction League, which I have a lot of plans for. Like I said, I've been talking with some independent companies. We're trying to get some sponsorship deals going. We've got some site affiliates, a couple, what do you call it? Role play stuff, eFeds. We got another, pro wrestling, Fire Pro Wrestling leagues and stuff like that we're partnered with on the site. But the main thing, like I said, I've been speaking with a couple companies. Obviously, I've been speaking with CZW, been speaking with H2O, some PCW, a couple other independent companies trying to get some sponsorship deals, help get some eyes back on the Jobber Radio Prediction League, also help get some money in their pockets, because it's always good to support independent wrestling. I say that, and I will always say that independent wrestling is definitely, the AEW, WWE is fun from time to time, but man, I get my bread and butter, at least, out of a lot of independent wrestling shows. So I always would like to support. This is a way to support them, as well as try to hopefully bring some eyes into, the content that's going to be created with the Jobber Radio Prediction League and just Jobber Radio. So, been going for a little while here. I filled you guys in where I've been, what I've been doing, aka not been paying attention to wrestling, loving every bit of it, but also missing it when the time comes. I really am glad to get back in things. I'm super excited to get back into the content game again for wrestling, and I'm excited to see where things go. So, like I said, down below, let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. If there could be some, I want to hear some new ideas too. Obviously, we've done best in the business. We have tournaments and stuff like that. It's going to be a solo act from here on out. I have full confidence in, editing abilities and, voiceover work and all this kind of stuff. And I think that I have plenty more content to offer here for Jobber Radio. And I think this, fourth era can be the most successful yet. I don't want anybody to think I have any ill will towards any of the other podcast hosts that we've had from the beginning, from Matt Zion. Obviously, there's was bad blood with a lot of the guys, but I have zero bad blood with anybody. I don't have any ill will towards a single one of those guys. I hope absolute best for every one of them. Even Peanut, I think, in Rab may still know our names. I don't even know if Rab still knows who we are. But no, I'm just kidding. He messaged me on Facebook not too long ago, just checking in. That was fun. But no, for real, nothing but the best for those guys. And I don't want to take anything away from anything we've ever done with those guys. But I will say this: I have full confidence in this fourth era of Jobber Radio. You always find what is starting to work, and Jobber Radio has seen its biggest growth when, believe it or not, after all these years, from 2012. After all these years, whenever we started producing it was me, Warden, Spring Tigress, and Luke, and we did the uh, TEW series. That was the biggest growth for Jabba Radio ever. And that's crazy because me, Lee, Scott, Matt Zion, Rab, Peanut, we've been working on this thing, give or take, work for so long, and out of nowhere, we start just creating some different things, different type of content, and the CCW stuff has absolutely skyrocketed. The channel here, from when I say skyrocketed, okay, let me say not skyrocketed, okay, compared to numbers and like watch time and views and subscribers and stuff, compared to our old stuff, yes, skyrocketed, but overall skyrocketed, not even close. So though I had a lot of fun doing the other stuff, it never really picked up any momentum. It never picked up any progress forward. It kind of just stayed stagnant. I think this fourth era of Jabba Radio, I'm hoping, nobody can tell the future, but I'm hoping we can get things going. So I'm hoping you guys are going to be part of that. If not, if you have watched all the way through this, and this is maybe the last video you see of Jabba Radio, if you unsubscribe, is what it is. But I just want to tell you, if you are one of those people, I absolutely thank you for everything you've ever watched. I thank you for everything you've ever, taken part in, if it's any kind of community stuff or any comments you've left, any likes, dislikes. I don't care. Dislikes are absolutely fine. Any interaction you've ever had with Jabba Radio, if you are somebody that is going to be stepping away, knowing that it's just going to be a solo act from here on out, thank you so very much. But if you're here along for the ride, I promise you I'm going to do my absolute best to put out the best content that I can. And I know that I have it in me to put out some serious content. So that's where we're at right now. That's the state of Jabba Radio 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It's been way too long of a video that I've been recording right here, but I think I hit on everything. I know once I hit stop on this recording, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I didn't talk about this." And I felt really passionate about making this video, give an update, because I've wanted to give an update on stuff, but I haven't been in the wrestling game. I've just been out of it. But I'm cheesy and terrible as it sounds, I literally been practicing, what I'm gonna say, in this video here on my way home from work and stuff like that, is cringy as that sounds. I just want you to know that it just means a lot to me. So, thank you very much. I hope you stick around for the ride, because there's going to be plenty of stuff to talk about, plenty of stuff to watch, and plenty of stuff to, watch as entertainment. It's going to be plenty of stuff to do. So that's it. Last thing I'm going to pitch, go join Jabba Radio Prediction League, jrpl.jabbaradio.com. More content over there on that YouTube channel, more content here on this YouTube channel. Follow if you haven't followed by now. If you stop following, I guess I should say, that's more likely what happened. At Jabba Radio, things are going to pick back up over there. And for the JRPL, at JRPL Official is the Twitter for that. So it's time for me to hit stop on the recording. So that's it, guys. I hope you are going to stick around, and if you do, we'll see you on the next video.